la 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 la. Oh my, la 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 la. Oh my, la 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 la. Good morning, everybody. My name is Elena Johnson. Welcome to Mia Cucina. Mia Cucina in Italian means my kitchen. And boy, do I have an amazing, delicious cookie to share. Autumn is right around the corner, so I am going to start welcoming it now. It's been hot and rainy here, and why not create a cookie that it is enjoyed for breakfast, it is enjoyed for snacks, it's delicious and super easy to make. And the prima cosa, the first thing is we gotta put on the fadale. And the fadale today says, follow your dreams, follow your dreams, whatever those dreams are, follow your dreams. All right, so what I'm gonna tell you very step by step on how to make this delicious Italian cookie. And it's a traditional Italian cookie, and what I've done is I have made it into an autumn cookie. So what I have here is 3/4 cups. 3/4 cups of sugar. And the sugar that I am using, I am using fine sugar. If you don't have fine sugar, don't worry about it. And then to this, I am going to get 1 egg. The egg has to be a room temperature, okay? 3/4 cups of sugar with 1 egg. We're going to do the wet, and then we're going to do the dry, and we're going to make it all in this board right here. Let me see if I bring you down, see if you can see the board, because I want to show you what I'm going to be doing with that, because that's so important. And Reggie, no, Reggie, get out of there. Reggie, get out of there. Reggie wants a cookie too. He says, Mama, if you're making cookie for people, can you make me cookie for me? Okay, so now I am going to crack the egg. Okay, remember to keep the shell, because in the shell, you can fill this up with dirt, and I already have 4 plants that sprouted in the egg. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna put this on the side for now. This egg looks really good, and I'm just gonna put it right in here. Okay, so I am done with the egg. Very simple, very easy transaction. So 3/4 cups of sugar, 1 egg, and then we are going to be adding a 1/4 cup of milk, and a 1/4 cup of oil, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So what I'm using here is I am just going to go ahead, and what I want to do with the egg, guys, is I want this to be nice and frothy. And I have found, and I made this cookie many times, and I have found that when you put it in a cup, measuring cup, it makes it a lot easier for everything to work together. So what you want to do is you really want to cream, and it's going to double. Oh, make sure you hold on to it. You can see. Okay, so now to this, since it's nice and frothy, all right, to this I am going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm just using a regular teaspoon, tiny teaspoon. You can measure when your teaspoon. I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I am going to put the vanilla on the side because I am done with the vanilla. I am going to take a 1/4 cup of milk, and what I am using is I am using coconut milk to make it a little more healthier. And I'm going to be adding to this a 1/4 cup of coconut milk. Just a 1/4 cup. There it goes. And it's okay for you to use coconut milk, guys. I have used coconut milk, and it's delicious. You don't have coconut milk, any milk will do. Okay, you don't have to do it like I do. Okay, so now this is done. I get that out of the way. And now I am going to use vegetable oil. I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And I have just enough. Oh my goodness, just enough. And it is advisable to use vegetable oil. I like to mix it. I put a little bit of olive oil with it, and it comes out just perfect, my cookie. So I'm done with that. Okay, so now all of these ingredients are done. So now what I want to do is I want to come back over here, and I want to continue to mix this very well. Just like that. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, and you see what it's doing, right? It's doubling in size. Okay, so now I am done with that. I am done with this. Finish with that, put that in the sink. Now you're gonna turn your oven to 350 degrees. Let me put it to 300 degrees. You're gonna get a nice sheet and you're going to put some parchment paper. You may need 2 sheets. Okay, so now this is done. I'm gonna put that to the side, to the dry ingredients. Okay, get yourself a nice bowl like so. And to this nice bowl, I am gonna be utilizing organic flour. And I'm personally going to use also paleo flour. You don't have to use paleo flour. You can use all the flour. I would just suggest a good all-purpose flour. And what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be measuring a total of 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to do a cup of I'm going to put it right over here. Okay, so that's almost a cup. I'm going to use my my spoon so I can top this. Okay, I'm gonna see what you're, and this is when I'm using 2 flours. Okay, so I'm gonna have 1 flour in there like so, and then I'm gonna come in here, because what we wanna do is we wanna sift. I have another cup right here, and now I am gonna be utilizing, because it's gonna be 2 1/4 cups of flour that's gonna go in here. I am going to get a paper towel, because I find that this measure, it's different than my other measure, and it's more flour with the other one for some reason. You know, everything is different. So here's another 1/4 cup. Okay, so now that I have that, I put that to the side. All right, so now to this, we're going to take a little pinch of salt, just a little pinch of salt, just like that. Super simple, super easy, guys. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons. So we got 2 1/4 cups of flour here. And I'm going to use 2 teaspoons, 1 and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, baking powder. So far, so good. Okay, so now that we have the 2 1/4 cups of flour, a pinch of salt, the baking powder, now I'm going to introduce you to the spices that we are going to put them all in here. And the first thing I'm going to start with is ginger. Okay, I'm going to use a teaspoon, a good heaping teaspoon of ginger goes in there. That's going to put that to the side. I'm going to move this out of the way. What I have here is I have cinnamon, and I love a lot of cinnamon. And if you don't, you know, I love cinnamon, and this is the time to really get a good heaping teaspoon of cinnamon. I made it very simple and easy for you guys. And this cookie is delicious. It's got a beautiful crunch. Oh my God, it's amazing. Okay, now I have cloves, and cloves, what I'm going to do is, you know, if you don't like a lot of cloves, I'm going to put a good teaspoon of cloves, and I don't even have to measure because I love cloves. Okay, so now what we have here is allspice, a teaspoon of allspice. So far, guys, so far, we have a teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of allspice. Now I'm going to bring the wonderful nutmeg. And the nutmeg, I am going to be using also a teaspoon of nutmeg. You know, it's just going to be an amazing flavorful cookie, trust me. And then over here I have pumpkin spice. You know, pumpkin spice is something that I did not grow up with, but now I have utilized it into this cookie. So I just want to put a nice heaping teaspoon of that. So now all of these wonderful spices, I'm going to move to the side. So I'm going to repeat the spices again. A teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of allspice, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. So now we are done with all of that. So what I want to do now is I want to bring your attention to this. And what we want to do here is we are going to, see what I'm doing? Because we don't want any lumps, okay? It's such an easy peasy cookie. Don't have to dirty a lot of things. All you're going to do is you're going to have this kind of a board right here, and I'm done with that. Okay, so that gets out of the way. So now, you get your flour. I just want to make sure that it's all very well and mixed. Make sure that it's all very well and mixed. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to use a wooden spoon. That's what you're going to use, a wooden spoon. So what I want to do is I want to get probably about a quarter, a little bit of a quarter, maybe less, because I want to flour my board. Okay, we're going to flour the board like so. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to bring this back to here, and then I want to take my spoon, and what I want to do is I want to make a little hole in the middle like that. Hole in the middle, and I'm just going to start pouring this deliciousness right in there. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. And it's going to look like nothing is happening, you know, that it's supposed to be a nice sticky dough. And I still have some more in there, but I just want to start incorporating it. All right, now get yourself one of these guys and get everything out. I want every bit of it, of this deliciousness in here. Oh yes. Super easy cookie. It packs flavor, and it's amazing with coffee. And I'm telling you, you're going to be making this cookie over and over and over again because it's so, so delicious. And you know, and I want to get every bit of this right here, and I'm going to use another one of the spatula, of these, whatever these things are called, spatulas. I'm done with that. Okay, I just want to get these wet pieces out of here, and then what you want to do is you want to mix this. Okay, you see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? We are mixing it. We are mixing it like so. We have our oven at 350 degrees. Now what I want to do is I want to remove everything out of the way because I want to bring my sheet, okay? And these cookies are going to cook anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. Mine took about 12 to 13 minutes. All right, so you got to keep working it, and don't worry about it if it's looking like it's dry. It's doing its thing. So now what I want to do is I want to remove my rings, and I want to get a little bit of flour in my hands, and what I want to do is I want to bring this out right here, like so. Okay, just like so. Just make sure you get this out like that. See how easy that comes? Super easy, guys. Nothing to be stressed about, nothing to be worried about. Very, very easy. Now this is, I'm done with that. Put that in the sink. And then what I want to do with this is I'm done also with my spoon. Because what we want to do is we don't want this to have a lot of flour, but what we want to do is we want to roll this out. Roll it like so, bring it together and roll it like so. As you can see, I'm using very little flour, okay? So bring it together and roll it like so. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make this guy, we want to roll this guy out. Yes, we want to roll this guy out because we're going to be working from this guy. And I'm going to put this guy on the side. Now, I am going to get some Casper sugar, and I'm going to get my Casper sugar to the side because I'm going to get ready for that. So what I want to do now is that I want to take a knife and I want to cut a piece like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my sugar, and now I am going to use the sugar with the flour, and I'm just going to roll this guy right into the sugar. Right into the sugar and the flour. That's why it's really helpful to have super fine sugar. If you don't have super fine sugar, what I would do is I would take whatever sugar I have and I would put it in a spice grinder, and that's what I would do. So what you want to do is you want to get a good 2 inches, you know, so I would start right here like that, and then what I would do is you could just make them into whatever size you want. So you can do half moons, and I'm just going to drop it right into the parchment paper. So now we're going to do the same thing, approximately about the same thing. If you want this guy to just be flat, you can do this guy flat, and you know, you can make it many different sizes. Because they're found that way, so you can really have a lot of fun with these. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this other guy like that, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Some can be bigger than others. And then you're gonna take the same one like that. You're gonna take a little bit of the sugar. Here, let me use the spoon so I don't keep putting my hands in there. And it's just, you can see, very, very light. Because really, this is gonna be the coating also for the cookie. So you're gonna put it right here, and using your hands, see what I'm doing? And I'm just spreading it out. And it's already being coated with the sugar, okay? And what I found that I just, what I do is I kind of go like that. Some of them are fatter than others, and I kind of like them just, straight. You could do straight. They fit. They don't get really, really, they don't expand too much. So you could do it in like that, something like these. And it's very simple and very easy transaction. Okay, so then, I think you understand what I'm doing. So we could do the squares. I like to do that, like I said, I like to do the rounds, okay? And it makes about 21 cookies, and they're nice and crunchy, and I would store them in an airtight container for about 4 or 5 days. Sometimes it doesn't last that long here. As you can see, look at that. And especially, when I give them to my neighbors. There's a neighbor across the street that they love these cookies. And I'm just going to keep putting them in here. And I just want to make enough to make, some of them can be longer than others. This is when you can be creative. This is when you can get the kids to help out. A little bit more sugar, okay? Because I'm going to get this tray in, and then I can work with this, because I want to show you how we're going to finish these cookies. Okay, so, make it work. It's okay if it doesn't, come all together there. It gives them more personality. Just kind of make them the same size, so they all kind of cook at the same size. Okay, so come over here, put this guy over here, put this guy over here, put this guy over here. And then what I would do with these guys is that I would just come, just come in, and you can make little designs, like little, I just like to use the knife. You can make flowers if you want. You can get very creative. And I'm going to put this in the oven at 350. And I am going to put the timer at 12 minutes. And then what you get is you get these. Okay? I have made them earlier, and we've been having cookies this morning. So now, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so now, when the cookies come out of the oven, this is what they would look like. Okay, so then what I would do is I would get a plate. And you can get very fancy. You can put leaves around it. But what I want to bring your attention to is that I am going to get these guys after they're completely cooled. I'm just going to put them on this plate so I can show you. Simple and easy coating. And what I did with these guys, I just, like I said, I didn't have a leaf stamper. Okay, so now I'm done with that. And then what you want to do here is you want to take some confectionate sugar. We make it as simple as possible. And then with the confectionate sugar, I'm going to take a good spoon of it, and I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm just going to let it rain over them. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then you're going to get your beautiful plate. And then you're going to start stacking up your cookies. Like that. Look at that. And like I said, these guys will store in an airtight container. I am going to be putting it, in my strawberry container. So that's where I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them in here, so as we need them, we can get them. But for presentation-wise, I just wanted to show this to you. And the thing is if you're doing a welcoming party with your family, you can serve something like this. Okay, guys, this is it. This is my traditional autumn Italian cookies. I want to thank you today. And wait a minute. Shall we try? Oh. at that. You see that cookie? Oh, mamma mia. And with coffee, look how yummy. Okay, Belly, I am going to have a couple of cookies for breakfast this morning. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on Mia Cucina. Be kind, be loving, wear your mask, do your part. I love you. Mwah, Belly. Ciao, ciao. Enjoy your cookies. Mwah, ciao, ciao, Belly. Ciao, ciao. La, 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 la.